The Equestrian Monument stands as a powerful symbol of Spanish heritage, a testament to the enduring influence of Spanish culture and history. This grand statue, with its intricate details and imposing presence, captures the imagination of all who gaze upon it. Its impact on the American Southwest is profound, as it represents a time when Spanish explorers ventured into unknown territories, forever altering the course of history in this region. Towering over the landscape, it serves as a reminder of the enduring legacy of the Spanish conquistadors and their expeditions. These brave explorers, driven by a thirst for adventure and discovery, left an indelible mark on the land and its people. The monument captures a pivotal moment in history, the Oñate expedition, and invites us to reflect on its significance. This expedition, led by Juan de Oñate in the late 16th century, was a journey fraught with challenges and triumphs, shaping the future of the American Southwest. This journey marked the beginning of a new era, one that would shape the cultural landscape of the region for centuries to come. The trails they blazed became pathways for cultural exchange, trade, and the spread of new ideas. The Equestrian is not merely a statue, it is a testament to the spirit of exploration, the clash of cultures, and the enduring power of human resilience. It stands as a tribute to the courage and determination of those who ventured into the unknown. It is a story of triumphs and challenges, of encounters between vastly different worlds. These meetings were often marked by both cooperation and conflict, as two distinct cultures came face to face. The monument compels us to delve into the past and explore the complex history of the Spanish conquest, acknowledging both its positive and negative aspects. It serves as a reminder that history is multifaceted, with stories of both glory and hardship. Through its imposing presence, the Equestrian sparks a dialogue about the multifaceted legacy of colonialism and its lasting impact on the American Southwest. It encourages us to consider the long-term effects of these historical events on the present-day cultural and social landscape. It serves as a reminder of the importance of understanding our shared history, even as we grapple with its complexities. By studying these monuments and the stories they tell, we gain a deeper appreciation for the diverse influences that have shaped our world. The monument stands as a symbol of cultural exchange, highlighting the fusion of Spanish and Native American traditions that continues to shape the region today. This blending of cultures is evident in the art, music, and traditions that enrich the American Southwest, creating a unique and vibrant cultural tapestry. In 1598, Juan de Oñate led an expedition of over 400 people north from Mexico into present-day New Mexico. This perilous journey marked the beginning of Spanish colonization in the region. The expedition was a diverse group, comprised of soldiers, colonists, and their families, all seeking new opportunities and a fresh start in a new land. Among the expedition members were artisans, farmers, and craftsmen, each bringing their skills and traditions to the untamed frontier. Priests, driven by a fervent desire to spread Christianity, accompanied the expedition, carrying with them their faith and the promise of salvation. Indigenous people from Mexico also joined the expedition, serving as guides, interpreters, and allies. The journey north was fraught with challenges. The expedition faced harsh desert conditions, dwindling supplies, and the constant threat of attacks from indigenous tribes who viewed their arrival with suspicion and hostility. Despite the hardships, the expedition persevered, driven by a mix of ambition, faith, and the allure of the unknown. Oñate's expedition was not without controversy. His treatment of the indigenous population, particularly following the Acoma Pueblo uprising, has been widely condemned. This complex history serves as a reminder of the importance of approaching the past with sensitivity and a willingness to acknowledge the perspectives of all involved. The arrival of the Spanish had a profound and lasting impact on the Native American tribes of the Southwest. When the Spanish explorers first set foot in this region, they encountered a rich tapestry of indigenous cultures, each with its own unique traditions and ways of life. The initial contact between these two worlds was marked by curiosity, tension, and a mutual sense of wonder. The encounter between these two distinct cultures led to a complex exchange of ideas, customs, and traditions. This exchange was not always peaceful, but it was undeniably transformative. The Spanish brought with them their own set of beliefs, technologies, and ways of living, which began to intermingle with those of the Native Americans. Over time, this interaction gave rise to new forms of art, architecture, and social practices that were a blend of both cultures. Spanish missionaries, driven by a desire to convert indigenous populations to Christianity, introduced their religion, language, and architectural styles. The missions they established became centers of cultural exchange, where Native Americans were taught not only about Christianity, but also about European agricultural techniques, crafts, and trades. These missions often became the heart of new communities, where Spanish and Native American influences merged. The Spanish brought with them new agricultural practices and livestock, forever altering the relationship between the indigenous people and the land. They introduced crops such as wheat and barley, as well as animals like horses, sheep, and cattle. These new resources provided Native Americans with new means of sustenance and tools for daily life. But they also disrupted traditional ways of farming and hunting. Horses, sheep, and cattle were introduced, transforming hunting techniques and providing new sources of food and materials. The horse, in particular, revolutionized the way many Native American tribes hunted and traveled, giving them greater mobility and changing the dynamics of their societies. Sheep and cattle provided new sources of wool, leather, and meat, which were integrated into the daily lives of the indigenous people. Wheat, grapes, and other crops were cultivated, enriching the diets of the native populations and changing the landscape of the region. The introduction of these crops led to the development of new culinary traditions and agricultural practices. Vineyards in particular became an important part of the local economy, producing wine that was used in both religious ceremonies and daily life. The introduction of Spanish legal systems and governance structures also had a significant impact on the indigenous people. Spanish laws and regulations were imposed, often clashing with traditional Native American customs and practices. This led to a complex legal landscape where indigenous people had to navigate both their own traditional laws and the new Spanish legal system. Traditional forms of leadership and social organization were challenged as the Spanish sought to impose their own systems of control. Native American leaders found themselves in a difficult position, trying to maintain their authority and cultural practices while also dealing with the demands and pressures of the Spanish colonial administration. This often led to conflicts and negotiations as both sides tried to assert their power and influence. This clash of cultures led to both cooperation and conflict, as indigenous groups navigated the complexities of this new reality. Trade between the Spanish and Native Americans became a common practice, with both sides exchanging goods, knowledge, and skills. However, these interactions were not always harmonious, and tensions often erupted into violence and resistance as Native Americans fought to protect their lands and way of life. Despite the challenges, the encounter between the Spanish and Native Americans also led to a fusion of cultures. This blending was evident in many aspects of daily life, from the architecture of buildings to the crafts and artworks produced by artisans. Spanish and Native American styles combined to create unique forms of expression that reflected the diverse influences of both cultures. New artistic traditions emerged, blending indigenous motifs with European styles. These new forms of art were a testament to the resilience and creativity of both cultures, as they found ways to incorporate and celebrate each other's influences. Murals, pottery, and textiles began to feature a mix of Spanish and Native American elements, creating a rich and diverse artistic heritage. Languages intertwined, creating unique dialects that reflected the blending of these two worlds. The Spanish language began to incorporate Native American words, and vice versa, leading to the development of new forms of communication. This linguistic exchange was a crucial part of the cultural fusion, as it allowed for greater understanding and interaction between the two groups. The legacy of this cultural exchange is still evident today in the art, music, cuisine, and traditions of the American Southwest. Modern Southwestern culture is a vibrant tapestry that reflects the deep and lasting impact of the Spanish influence on Native American societies. From the food we eat to the music we listen to, the echoes of this historical encounter continue to shape our world. The introduction of the horse by the Spanish had a transformative impact on the lives of Native American tribes. Before the arrival of these majestic creatures, the indigenous people of the Americas had never encountered such animals. The horse, with its strength, speed, and versatility, was unlike anything they had seen before. It didn't take long for the Native American tribes to realize the potential these animals held. Once unfamiliar with these powerful animals, Indigenous people quickly recognized their value for hunting, transportation, and warfare. The ability to ride horses revolutionized their way of life. They could now hunt more efficiently, covering vast distances in search of game. This newfound mobility also meant they could transport goods and people more easily, facilitating trade and communication between distant tribes. Horses provided a newfound mobility, allowing tribes to cover greater distances and interact with other groups in new ways. This increased interaction led to the exchange of ideas, goods, and cultural practices, enriching the lives of the indigenous people. The vast plains of North America, once daunting and difficult to traverse, became more accessible, opening up new opportunities for exploration and expansion. The horse became a symbol of status and prestige among indigenous communities, transforming social structures and power dynamics. Leaders and warriors who possessed horses were often held in higher regard, as these animals were seen as valuable assets. The ability to command and control horses became a mark of leadership and prowess, further solidifying the horse's role in the social fabric of Native American life. Tribes with access to horses gained a strategic advantage in conflicts with their neighbors, leading to shifts in alliances and patterns of trade. The horse's speed and agility made it an invaluable asset in warfare, allowing for swift attacks and retreats. This newfound military capability altered the balance of power among tribes, as those with horses could dominate their rivals more effectively. Horses also revolutionized hunting practices, enabling tribes to pursue bison and other game with greater speed and efficiency. The ability to chase down large herds of bison transformed the way Native Americans hunted, providing them with a more reliable source of food and materials. This, in turn, supported larger populations and more complex societies, as the abundance of resources allowed for greater stability and growth. The adoption of the horse had a profound impact on the cultural identity of many Native American tribes. Horses became central to various cultural practices, including ceremonies, rituals, and artistic expressions. They were often adorned with intricate decorations and symbols, reflecting their importance in the spiritual and cultural life of the community. Horses became integral to religious ceremonies, artistic expressions, and storytelling traditions. They were featured prominently in myths and legends, symbolizing strength, freedom, and the connection between the physical and spiritual worlds. The presence of horses in these cultural narratives underscored their significance and the deep bond that had formed between the animals and the people. The bond between a warrior and his horse was considered sacred, and horses were often buried alongside their owners as a testament to their importance in life and death. This practice highlighted the deep respect and reverence that Native Americans had for their horses, viewing them as loyal companions and vital members of their communities. The horse, brought to the Americas by the Spanish, became a symbol of both opportunity and disruption for indigenous populations. While it offered new possibilities and advantages, it also brought challenges and conflicts. The introduction of the horse marked a turning point in the history of Native American tribes, reshaping their societies in profound and lasting ways. While it empowered some tribes, it also contributed to conflict and displacement as groups competed for access to these valuable animals and the resources they provided. The competition for horses and the advantages they conferred led to increased tensions and rivalries, sometimes resulting in violent clashes and territorial disputes. The horse's legacy in the American West is complex and multifaceted, reflecting both the positive and negative consequences of its introduction. It brought about significant changes in the way of life for Native American tribes, offering new opportunities while also presenting new challenges. The story of the horse in Native American history is one of adaptation, resilience, and transformation, illustrating the profound impact that a single species can have on an entire culture.